Hello everyone, today I'm going to present to you my progress on the essay that I'm writing on. I have chosen the second topic, which is about the representation of animals. I personally am an animal lover and I think that this topic interests me the most, and it will be enjoyable for me to do research about folktales and queer stories about them. I believe that most of us has heard of different fairy tales, fables, and legends with animals as characters in the stories, no matter they are stories from the Oriental culture, such as The Journey to the West, or stories from Western cultures, such as The Little Red Riding Hood. It is believed that our understanding of animals is so intimately bound up by our own self-concept as human beings. Representation of animals have always contained projections of our deepest hopes, fears, and aspirations. Anthropomorphism is the attribution of human characteristics or behaviors to inanimate objects or animals, and this technique is usually used by authors of these stories to place stereotypes or meanings on a specific animal, usually according to our perceptions toward them. For example, the famous Aesop's fables about the race between the rabbit and the turtle is a very famous moral lesson. Aesop uses the rabbit and the turtle to represent personalities that would be found among us. The rabbit, representing the one born with privileges but was proud and lazy, while the turtle represents the one who may have a disadvantage in the beginning but was humble and hardworking. There are tons of literatures throughout history that uses animals to represent different human traits or characteristics. Since cultural background is usually a key element in explaining social phenomena, it should also contribute to shaping our perceptions and representation of animals. The focus of my essay will be on comparing the differences in animal representations from Oriental and Western culture, and I hope to find interesting results through the research process. I have found a few examples for doing the comparisons, but today I will first introduce to you one of them. I found that snakes are often interpreted with a negative image, whether in Oriental or Western backgrounds. Medusa is a monster from the Greek mythology that has the face of a hideous woman with living venomous snakes as her hair. While on the other hand, many Chinese folktales also describe snakes as spirits that disguise themselves as beautiful women. Legend of the White Snake is a well-known example. So far from my research, I find it quite interesting that despite we have cultural differences across the Western and Oriental culture, the representation that we draw from the same animal tends to be similar and therefore may cause the same implications on our daily lives. I hope to find out more on the research process and hope to share with you all in my final essay soon.